strange as it sounds, I'm here to see you. I know we don't like each other. You think I'm a boring, sheltered nobody.
I don't think of you.
Oh, right, of course you don't. But I've been thinking of me. And I've come to the conclusion that I need to get out of my comfort zone. I need to experience new things.
Are you gay?
So I recently rewatched all of Gossip Girl with my roommates, and I realized just how much the show has affected me growing up. When I watched Gossip Girl for the first time, I was only like 11 years old, and I had very little understanding of social norms. I was an undiagnosed neurodivergent kid who went to a rich kid's school and had practically no friends and took media she watched very seriously and basically changed my life. So, for those of you who don't know, Gossip Girl is a teen/young adult show about the lives of the young New York City elite. It starts off as a satire on the scandalous and crazy shenanigans high schoolers who have way too much money get into. Emphasis on satire. I think that kids who watch this show, especially kids like me, don't really get that this is a satire, because I took everything very seriously and very to heart. And you know what? I'm kind of glad that I did. Kind of. It's wild to say, but I learned some of my most valuable friendship lessons from 3 main shows: My Little Pony, Daria, and Gossip Girl. Although, after rewatching Gossip Girl recently, I would say that Gossip Girl doesn't have the best representation of what friendship should be like. Somehow, 11-year-old me came out of the whole show only internalizing the good parts. So yay! Specifically, this scene between Blair and Serena hit me really hard.
Dear Serena, my world is falling apart, and you're the only one who would understand. My father left my mother for a 31-year-old model. A male model. I feel like screaming because I don't have anyone to talk to. You're gone. My dad's gone. Nate's acting weird. Where are you? Why don't you call? Why did you leave without saying goodbye? You're supposed to be my best friend. I miss you so much. How's Blair?
Why didn't you sit there?
You would have what? You knew, Serena. And you didn't even call.
I didn't know what to say to you, or even how to be your friend after what I did. I'm so sorry.
Eric told me what happened. I guess your family's been going through a hard time, too.
Everyone who's watched the show knows that Blair and Serena's friendship is actually extremely toxic, where the two of them constantly insult, hurt, and stab each other in the back. This is not how you should treat your friends. But something that always got me was how much effort they put into being friends. At the end of the day, they always had each other's backs and would drop everything to save each other when they needed it. They could also be mad at each other, hell, they could also hate each other, but eventually they will come together and talk, apologize, and reconcile. Thankfully, 11-year-old me didn't take this as a do whatever you want to your friend, they'll come back anyway type of thing, but more so, your friendship means more than petty drama. You must put in the effort to reconcile and save your friendship. Another friendship I genuinely enjoyed in Gossip Girl, this time on rewatch, is Dan and Nate's. Although they both were in love with Serena and were from 2 different worlds, they respected each other and cared for the other. They also helped each other out in tough situations and had a genuinely wholesome friendship. Nate was Dan's first friend on the Upper East Side, and Dan was the first person to take Nate in after finding out his situation with his parents. Nate and Dan were a wonderful representation of friendship against all odds. In any other show, they would be enemies. However, here, they constantly uplifted each other and gave each other advice. Now, if you are a Cher hater, you might want to skip this one. Again, like Blair and Serena's friendship, Chuck and Blair are absolutely not perfect. A Aside from being awful people, they've both done terrible things to each other. But I'm not here to talk about that. The good parts of Chuck and Blair's relationship stuck out to me much, much stronger than the bad parts. They trusted each other, went to the ends of the world for each other, had very, very good communication in season 3 until the writers decided to ruin it for some reason. Actually, if you watch only the first half of season 3, Chuck and Blair are objectively the best characters in the show and have the healthiest relationship. Another moment I liked though was Chuck coming to Blair just to apologize for everything he's done to her. Literally everything. As Lana Del Rey plays in the background. Iconic. By doing that, he acknowledged the pain he has caused her and how wrong it all was, even something as simple and small as being afraid to tell her that he loved her in season 2. And not with the pretext of getting her back, but letting her go. That moment was so important to their relationship, and I feel like without it, it could not have been a good endgame. The reason why Chuck and Blair work is because they genuinely love and respect each other. Every time they hurt each other, they deeply regret it and make efforts to better themselves. It gets to a point where they agree to only get together when they are stable enough to be in a healthy relationship. I think at a certain point in the later seasons, their will they won't they becomes a little irritating, but honestly, I feel like they've stayed ranked as the best relationship in the show to me. And if you personally don't resonate with their relationship and the toxic parts of it are a deal breaker for you, that's totally understandable as well. How can I talk about Gossip Girl and not talk about the fashion? Come on. I've always been obsessed with their looks. The colors, the designs, the way that each character has their own aesthetic, and the aesthetics were so well executed. Blake Lively even said in an interview that the fashion in the show must have been more iconic than the characters. I can't lie, after the rewatch, I decided to play around more with my own personal style, and it was actually super fun. While some looks hit and others don't, you cannot say that Gossip Girl doesn't make a statement with its clothing. I wish rich people still had drip like this. Everybody who has watched Gossip Girl knows how truly iconic the fashion was, and how it inspired so many trends and definitely changed how TV shows went about wardrobe in the coming years. Also, Jenny made me want to become a fashion designer for 0.2 seconds. If you want to hear more about the fashion in Gossip Girl, I strongly recommend this video by Modern Girls. Also, can we stop quoting Jenny saying, "Dad, I want to go to fashion school"? Cause she literally never said that. Thanks. So now I'm going to rank every memorable character in Gossip Girl. Now, a more accurate ranking would be season by season because every season my ranking changed drastically, but I don't have all day, so. Horrendous. Ranked at absolute rock bottom, we have Bart Bass, Chuck Bass, Elizabeth Fisher, William Vanderwoodson, Jenny's crazy model friend forgot her name, that girl whose brother was Serena's teacher in boarding school, plus he himself forgot their names too, sorry. Insufferable. Next, we have Ivy Dickens, Lillian Rhodes Bass Humphrey Vanderwoodson, Serena Vanderwoodson, Carol Rhodes, Dan and Jenny's mom, Vanessa, Sage, the Archibald parents, Trip Vanderbilt, and that Russell dad guy forgot his name too, sorry. Have your moments, but mostly bad. Rufus Humphrey, Daniel Humphrey, Jennifer Humphrey, Georgina Sparks, Cece Rhodes, and Diana Payne. Forgettable. Charlie Rhodes, the Grimaldis, Carter Bazin, and Hilary Duff's character forgot her name. Okay. In the okay tier we have Nathaniel Archibald. Have your moments, but mostly good / redeemable. Eleanor Waldorf, Chuck Bass, Blair Waldorf, and the Russell daughter girl forgot her name too, sorry! The only good characters in the show: Dorota, Cyrus, Vanya, Eric Vanderwoodson, and Monkey. Please keep in mind that
That's my opinion!
And if your opinion differs, cool. And yes, I know they're all bad people or whatever, blah blah blah, that's not the point. To close off the video, I will quote my partner, who just watched it for the first time. It was not a show, it was an experience. Thanks for watching.
You know you love me. XOXO.